What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome out to Atrium Health Ballpark, home of the Kannapolis Cannonballers, low A affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. So kind of in honor of Black History Month, myself and Trevor Wilt, the broadcaster of the Cannonballers, and then of course on behalf of the Cannonballers, we wanted to jump out into the community. So we had some local connections as well, and wanted to bring in a former baseball player that was trying to work your way through the Negro Leagues and played back in the 60s as well, 13 seasons. So we'll kind of jump into our good buddy now and Johnny Mac Johnson, Mac as he was called back in the biz apparently. But again, hey, just want to thank you so much for coming out here today. And I think things like this are important for us to be able to have conversations as well, and not even just limited to February. Just jump out and say, hey, let's have these conversations all the time, because this can only help out our community and help out this great nation. So before we kind of jump into the league and everything, I want to talk about just you as a ball player, stats. I want to go into, were you an autograph guy? Were people just coming up to you, hey, can you sign my baby? All that fun stuff. But first, what position were you playing back in the day?
Center field.
Center field.
Center field.
Was there a better center fielder? I feel like there probably wasn't a better center fielder on the team than you.
I don't think it was better.
Yeah, so we were just talking about a little bit before you playing in center field, and I'm guessing you were a speedster out in center field, or center fielder.
I call myself a speedster.
A speedster?
Yes, sir.
You're the general out there in center field as well. So did you ever dabble with pitching or playing in the hot corners at third or first?
Well, I pitched before I got to Mr. Stafford's team, which was the oldest team. I pitched under him for a gentleman called Mr. Charlie Perry. He had a team they called the Silver Hill Blues. I felt like I wanted to move to something bigger.
Yeah.
So I asked Mr. Stafford one day, I said, could I come and try out for the team? He said, you think you can make it? I said, well, I said, no, I can play the field better than anybody you got out there. And he said, well, let's try it. So Mr. Carly Howard was the center field. He was good, but he was retired, so I wanted his position. And so lo and behold, I went out and tried and got his position. Played for 13 years.
13 years.
13 years. We won the championship for 13 years.
So lucky number 13. You won it 13 times as well. So, all right. So I feel like you had to be one of the focal guys on the team, one of the focal highlights for winning 13 straight times. Was this a team that stuck? Did you guys all know each other, play really well together, and stick around for 13 years, or was the team kind of fluctuating with guys?
We knew each other.
You did?
We knew each other. I mean, even when the season was over, we'd have little get-togethers. We would have fish fries after the game, fried chicken in wash pots, drinking that beer, and we had some fun. And the guys. When I meet them in the street now, they talks about it, you know.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun,
And are you still in connection with some of these guys?
I am with some of them. Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of these guys. So again, this was just right up the road, right? And Concord,
yeah.
And you said at Hartsville Field, correct?
Hartsville Field, Silver Hill community.
So yeah, there we go, Silver Hill community as well over there in Concord, and now you live. You can throw a rock, basically. You can throw a baseball and hit the field that you played on for 13 seasons.
I can. Sometimes I sit in my backyard and look across there, and memories, man. You start thinking about how you used to play and what you used to do. I told my wife one time, I said, oh, God, I wish we had cameras back there. We could film some of these games, because you don't see that no more. Man, we would work an 8-hour job and come home and go to practice, and practice 2 hours and a half every day.
Wow.
But you can't get people to do that now.
Yeah.
They won't do that now.
No, that sounds. I wouldn't be doing that.
We was really dedicated to. We love baseball.
And so, what were most of the players on your team? What was their 8 to 5? What was their 9 to 5 job? Was it just were all you guys working together at the same job, or the guys coming from everywhere?
No, everybody. Some was insurance men. Some guys worked at lumber companies. Different jobs. Yeah.
So kind of describe what your structure was and who you guys played against, and then we'll kind of get into whether or not you were able to kind of move up, but just kind of go about the structure.
We had about 12 teams in
the league.
In this league. we would play at least each other twice. So that was a long season.
Yeah.
A long season. Then whoever came out on top, we had people keeping this, the schedule, first place and all that.
Yeah.
We had the championship game. We'd play our championship game at Webb Field in Concord.
I've played there before. I've played at Webb Field before. And that was a field back then?
That's where we had championship games at.
Oh, man.
And if they had a game in our park that we had to give the park up, we would come to Webb Field and play. So it was really a big thing, man. It just made you feel real good to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You can't talk enough about Mr. Bill Stafford because he was crazy about baseball.
Yeah.
He loves baseball. He used to tell us, you don't put nothing in, you can't get nothing out.
Oh, that's
And
good.
that's a saying I said. But for anything, that's life.
Yeah.
That's life. But I enjoyed it, man, and you couldn't wait for practice.
Yeah,
You couldn't wait to get off your job to go to practice.
Wow.
I remember, man, it's hot now, but boy, man, you about this playing center field, it's hot, Lord God. He came in one day, we had three outs, we came in, and I said, God, man, it's hot out there. And one of the guys, I don't know, it was Steve Bernard, one of them said, Johnny, it's just as hot. I said, yeah, but I'm black, man, you white, I draw heat. We just had some fun, we kept something going all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It was just like brothers.
Yeah.
Just nice, man. We didn't have no get. We played Saturdays and Sundays.
Saturdays and Sundays.
Sunday evenings.
Was it always whites and integrated with you guys and
Always,
playing? So
always.
it was never technically an all.
I think
black
when he
team
first
play?
started off, it was totally black.
Yeah.
But then he started building new ball players,
Yeah.
guys in high school, and they wanted to play, so he invited them to play. And they played. They would eat it up, man. We had guys knock a ball from here to Concord.
Yeah.
God, man, I've never seen nothing like it, man.
Talk to me about the fan situation and so the atmosphere of what baseball felt like back then. So yeah, what was the kind of the fan and the atmosphere like for you guys?
It was nice, man. We had plenty of fans. We had people follow us everywhere we were.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I was talking to one of the players, Mr. Stafford's brother, yesterday. He lives in Atlanta now, and he was talking about how the guys older people used to follow us. It made you feel real good to see people follow you. It made you want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it made it was out of sight. They would fry fish, man, and up on the tree they'd be frying fish and selling cold beer, man. It was
a party.
It was a big party. That's what it was.
And so what do you think that those games were like for the community? So do you think one of like the most entertaining things that you would find out there in Concord and Charlotte?
I think it was important for the community because the community would really come out and take part.
Yeah.
They would really. I'm kind of reminded when I played for the Blues. Now both fields, the field that we played on with the Blues is behind my house.
Yeah.
Well, the other field, Harsa, is right up the hill there.
Right up the road, yeah.
So I sat down there. People used to come. I could see them not even lined all the way around the field.
Yeah.
There was no benches. They were just lined up. Some were sitting on the ground, some sitting on the hill, some in the trees.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. You don't have that no more. We don't have that like that no more.
Yeah, that's just like organic, pure baseball.
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
definitely.
Yeah.
I think it was really good.
And so you said that, so kids from high school that were just graduating and thinking about doing college type things and trying to play ball at the next level. So you guys were a stepping stone for players that either wanted to reach the higher up of the Negro Leagues or maybe even make it to the major leagues one day, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. There was a lot of experience. There was a lot of things you could learn, especially the guys that have went up to pro and tried pro and come back to play.
Yeah.
They could teach you a lot of things.
And so what was baseball like for you guys? Going to major league type games, were you a Major League Baseball fan at the time, or did you even care about that just because your schedule was so busy and you cared about your team?
I went to one game, Major League. It was totally different.
Yeah,
Totally different, man. Everything is different. But it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing to see these guys throw the ball like they throw them, how fast they throw the ball.
yeah,
It was something else, man. We couldn't come up with par with that, But we had probably probably 10 guys that tried pro. One was a pitcher, and believe me, brother, that man could throw a ball, man. He could throw a ball.
Yeah.
But they would come and teach us a lot of things. If you want to learn something, I used to hit the ball and I would choke up on my back.
Yeah.
And this guy told me, said, Max, don't choke on the back. Pull down and take this hand right here. Put this hand up here. I used to hit like this.
What?
Yeah.
You were a righty?
Well, what we do, this hand's supposed to be on top.
Yeah.
You would break a wrist hitting like this.
Yeah, for sure.
But I didn't know that. So the guy, he told me, he said, change over.
Yeah.
And I started changing over. I started hitting the ball. Everything just started falling in place. So you can learn. Them guys had to experience some things, man.
Yeah. Did you have any players that you looked up to that you thought, hey, this would be awesome, of course, to be that major league type baseball player, even that high in the Negro League type player? Who were some players that just come to mind that you would look up to back in the day? Or is there almost too many to count?
Richard Leffler, David Trash, Steve Kennard, those guys, man. I used to watch him. I was a base hitter.
Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't a home run hitter.
Gotcha. Yeah. You're hitting for contact. You're hitting for average.
And the base hitter, man, is important too.
Yeah. Oh,
very important.
That was me. Hey, as you can tell by me, I'm not swinging for the fences.
I tried, but I never could get there.
That was me.
But we had some guys, man, that could hit the ball. I mean, the school was God. We playing down here. The school way up there. They would hit the ball on top of the school.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. William Harry, them guys, man. But they had it in the wrist. I used to wonder. I was telling Bill the coach. I said, Bill, I said, well, how do they hit the ball so hard? It's wrist power.
Yeah.
And I'd watch them all the time.
That whip.
I'd watch
whip
them.
it.
They whip it. Yeah. So you could learn a whole lot if you wanted to learn something.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so of course, in the 40s, Jackie Robinson kind of breaking that color barrier. What was he like for you guys, and you being able to kind of experience that stuff?
I always paid attention to his ball playing. I didn't care too much about all the record stuff.
All the hoopla and stuff? Yeah.
The guy was a natural born ball player.
Yeah.
And I used to just love seeing him play. He could make something happen.
Yeah.
And that's
played it the right way.
That's what all good ball players. Good ball players. This includes football, basketball. They make things happen.
Yeah.
And I used to watch him, man. How he just came natural with it. And that's the way you know a natural ball player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And so whenever you guys were playing, so of course, I mean, back in the 60s, racism, of course, alive back then. Were there any times whenever you went out to the ballpark where things were said to you guys? Because you said it started as almost an all-black team, and then it kind of integrated. Were things ever said to you guys where you're like, all right, why this? But it sounded like you had a great experience with hanging out and playing with white baseball players.
Never had a problem.
Wow.
Never had a problem. The only problem that we had is we was playing in Concord. We was playing them guys, and this is the time that the riot started in Concord.
Okay.
We didn't know that they was rioting.
Yeah.
We was playing ball, but we seen all this stuff burning. We didn't know what was going on. Somebody must be burning something.
Yeah.
I never forget. I got a single hit, got first, stole second, and when I went to slide in the second, my cleat caught, and it popped my wrist, and popped my ankle.
Yeah.
And I never forget. We were sitting there playing, and this guy, what was his name? Ed Franklin. You could see him running towards the field, coming to tell Bill, you better get your white guys and y'all better get out of here because they tearing the place up. And we jumped in the cars and we took off. As a matter of fact, the guy asked me, he said, man, you gonna come back over here tonight, man? They gonna be tearing the place. I said, you gotta be crazy, man. I said, I'm staying over here.
Yeah.
I don't want no part of this. I didn't take it like that, you know what I'm saying? So we just stayed home and just Ronnie played, and next thing I know, Ronnie was in trouble.
Yeah.
Because we used to talk all the time, man. So we just I never get, and plus that my ankle was messed up, so I couldn't go nowhere.
Exactly, yeah. and for you now, just a little bit back your background and what you're doing now, of course, and so pastor now, or able to assistant pastor, and so just kind of walk us through kind of your walk with Christ and how it made you a better person as well, kind of going through all this. What was that like for you, and how did that help you kind of handle with everything that was going on in the world?
Well, I got saved after baseball.
Okay.
After my playing baseball.
Yeah.
I never looked at, I don't know, I guess it's different. I never looked at stuff like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to stay away from it. So if I stayed away from it, I didn't have to get involved in it.
Yeah.
But the best thing ever happened to me was getting saved. Becoming
Yeah.
saved. That's the best thing ever happened to me in my life. And that gave me a different look on people.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the whites or the blacks, but on people. You
Yeah.
know? I've learned that you got to love. We got to love each other, man.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Yeah.
That's the only way to make it. That's the only way to make it. So that's the best thing ever happened in my life when I got saved one Saturday. I retired from the school system in the maintenance department as a painter. I worked there for 25 years with Cabarrus County Schools.
Mm-hmm.
And I came out in 2008, retired with full benefits, and I thought that was a blessing too, because I've been asking God, the Lord, to get me off the job where I could get into my ministry.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it came too.
That's awesome. That's good. And again, I love the fact that you said you just got to love on other people.
Oh yes.
And and again, you're my brother in Christ, and if someone else isn't, it may not follow the same God that you do, but it's always a good outlet to have on that. So kind of reverting back to baseball. So what did the game, and again, still having some emotion for you, what did the game of baseball mean for you? What do you think it meant for the other guys that you were playing with?
I do believe that it was just a fellowship. It's like a fellowship. We come together, man. When we come together, it sparks fire. We just, you know, after practice, man, we go get a case of beer, sit around, drink. we just had fun, man. You know, but baseball started that.
Yeah.
You see?
And a few more questions for you. Then I know we could probably talk all night about all this stuff. But so we're kind of looking at where we're at now in Kannapolis, and right down the street from Concord, some really good areas around here. We always talk about how our community that we have may not exactly reflect and really reflect our fan base. What do you think is something that we could maybe do to make people feel more welcome to come out here to the ball field and enjoy baseball just like you did, and have that love for the game? Like, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, that works some way like being a Christian. How do you get more people to come into the church? How do you get more people to come towards God? You got to go out there.
Yeah.
If you don't go out there, they're not coming.
Yeah.
So the same way work with that. You got to go into the communities and let them know that they're welcome, for one thing.
Okay.
And pull them in. That's the only way. That's the only way. You won't get them sitting here. And I don't care how many games you have. You might have one or two come, but if you want the black community to come, you got to go out and let them know that you're welcome. Come on in. We want you to come, you know.
Yeah. Well, I love that. And I guess the final question I have for you, so it just happened not too long ago. I have to write this one down, a little bit more stats to it. So on December 16th, 2020, the Major League Baseball Commissioner, Rob Manfred, he declared that all 7 Negro Leagues would be represented at the Major League level with their stats. So any stats that they did at the Major League, Negro League level, they're in the record books for the Hall of Fame and things like that. How cool is that? If this is your first time knowing about it, awesome. But if you knew about it before, what does that exactly mean to what you guys were doing kind of back in the day?
Well, that's my first time hearing about it, but I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
That's a great thing, a very good thing. As I said earlier, if you got to make people feel welcome, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's a good move towards the black community. Our black community got some ball players in the land.
Yeah. All right, so we'll kind of open the floor for you. So I know we've already talked Had so many great conversations. And you say any final thoughts and comments before we kind of wrap up here tonight?
The first thing I'd like to say, I appreciate it. I thank you very much for inviting me to do this. Anything I can do to help you out, let me know.
Awesome. Well, make sure you guys stay tuned. And again, thanks so much for tuning in and joining us here at Atrium Health Ballpark. Again, Johnny Mac Johnson, J Mac, whatever they called him back in the day. I may do J Mac now. That could be my nickname for you.
That's right.
But I'm just messing with you. But again, hey, thanks so much for joining us. And again, I think this is just a one step in the right direction, and I think we can do so much more kind of partnering up in the future as well. So I kind of end all my broadcasts this way. So I would kind of like to end this video this way. So as usual, we will leave you with this. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Love others. And if no one told you that they loved you today, I do.